everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Izzy Viscus and I'm currently a newbie in the corporate world, the workforce, whatever you want to call it. And what I did was I compiled a list of questions that I had no idea the answer to. Now I do, but I put together all the questions that I had going into the corporate world, getting a job after college, all those things of like what's salary versus hourly, how do you get paid when you're on a salary, all those sorts of questions I wrote down because I simply did not know the answer to. It may seem a little dumb, it may seem a little silly that I'm asking these questions, but you know those books, The Things for Dummies, so it's gonna be like corporate for dummies. Let's get straight into it. I have my list right here. If you clicked on this video and you're watching this, welcome to the corporate world. I am very new in it too, so it's been a very uncomfortable change from doing my master's and studying in my undergrad and college, going into a 9 to 5, 5 days a week. It is tiring and exhausting. So first question I want to answer for you, not that I necessarily wrote this down on my notes app, but yes, it does get a bit easier if you're sitting here asking, you know what, I'm exhausted every weekend, you know, my energy, if you're in office especially, and you're like talking to everyone, you're learning new things, you're trying to be the best version of yourself for the work, all that stuff. 9 to 5, that many hours, even if you're 8 to 5, whatever it looks like for you. In the beginning, it is really hard to adjust. You're gonna be exhausted every weekend, pretty much, unless you are like an absolute super person, which is awesome, and you're able to do that. However, I haven't been able to do that as much. I'm just now able to go out. Like last night, I officially went out for my first time in Austin, Texas with some coworkers, and we stayed out till like 1 a.m. and I have not stayed out till 1 a.m. in Austin because I do my work week. I normally just stay home because I'm so tired. I catch up with sleep, I catch up with decompressing, all that stuff. So yes, it does get easier, it does get better, you get a little bit more used to it, right? It is an adjustment, and I feel like it's always gonna be an adjustment, you know, when you're working pretty much like all the hours in your life. Okay, the first question, how do I determine the salary they asked me I want during the interview process? When I was on LinkedIn, it gave me a range of how much like they're offering in a way, and so that's kind of how I thought that's how much like I would get. But then my dad, he gave me this piece of advice and he was like, this is the smart way to do it. First of all, it's like how much you're gonna be spending a month. So I put together a Google sheet, Excel sheet. I put together all the costs that I would have living comfortably in Austin, Texas. So I put together rent, I put together car payments, like research on how much that might be. I hadn't bought a car yet, but like I researched how much car payments normally are, how much I'll be spending at a workout class. I go to Pure Barre, so I'm like calling them and, you know, researching, looking up their prices and the memberships that I normally get, just all of that. And so I added it up and how much it would cost for me to live comfortably, groceries included, all that. And then that should give you a good foundation of how much you're gonna be spending. So for instance, if you're spending $30,000 a year in cost, whatever they look like, the job is offering you $35,000 a year. You know, so that's when you have to be like, okay, that year I'm gonna really need to stick to my budget and not do a lot of things, you know, that stuff. So it's a good foundation to have, to know your knowledge of how much it's gonna cost, and then you can negotiate from there. Next question, what is salary versus hourly pay? Hourly, you clock in, you clock out, you get paid by the hour. Salary, you don't clock in, you don't clock out, you get a certain amount of money each year. You work within the hours that are on your contract. You can calculate how much you get an hour. So if you have like a $40,000 salary, you can calculate how many hours that, you know, how much you're getting paid each hour. Next question, when you're on a salary, do you get paid weekly, monthly, or yearly? Through the interview, I was sent a contract to look over things and just like a welcome, this is like what's happening, this is what's, you know, it's all knowledge that you need on your position, how you're getting paid, all that stuff. But every 2 weeks on a Friday, I get my paycheck. All of that will add up to my salary. A little backstory with this before I ask this question. I moved from Georgia to Austin, Texas. I moved for this job. So the next question, If I'm asked to do an interview in a different state, do I have to pay for everything? Navigating that question, I asked the interviewer, the person in HR, that department, who is interviewing me, helping me with the whole process. I pretty much asked if I would have to pay the travel expenses and what that would look like, because at that time I didn't have a full-time job. I was doing a part-time job, so I don't think I could have afforded to buy a plane ticket, stay in a hotel for just the night, and do the interview. But they covered the cost. So they covered my flights, they covered my hotel room, they covered my Ubers, food, everything. So they gave me a budget there. That's what I got within my position. Now it could be different with other companies. Again, I want to say all around the board, this can all be super different, but I hope that this information, if you're new in the workforce and you're interviewing, you're in a job, whatever it is, that you know that there are companies out there who offer to pay for the whole expenses if you are traveling in to do an interview. Next question, are there contracts I have to sign for the job? Yes, a lot of the contracts look very different for each brand. I remember one of my friends about 2 years ago, she got a job in LA, and I was talking to her about it, and I was asking her a lot of questions, and I'm like, did you sign a contract? Like, what does it look like? And so on her contract, there was something where it's a little bit different than my contract. So the contract that she signed stated that she has to stay there for at least 2 years. And the contract that I'm with, I don't have that feature. So very interesting, different kinds of contracts, but a lot of the details of like your start date, your salary pay, all that stuff when you're coming into the corporate world. Next question, when do I start getting paid? When does the money start coming in? When am I able to finally start paying the bills that I've gathered since moving here? The first week I got a paycheck, and I think it was a bit prorated. Next question, what do you wear / bring on the first day of a corporate job? If you go back and watch my first day of the corporate job, I did a vlog over it. I was so confused. I didn't know what to bring, what to wear. I actually bring my backpack all the time now. I don't even have like a cute little tote. You don't need it. You don't need a cute little tote. I have a really big computer and headphones and just mics, all that stuff, like when I'm creating content. So I'm always like lugging heavier things, so I have the backpack to support my back, my lower back. I got lower back issues. I'm a girl. It's the first day. It's not like they're gonna fire you or look down on you if you forget something. Like for the license and stuff, you can fill out that information at home or email it to someone, unless they specifically said in the interview like certain things you need to bring the first day, or in like the guidelines that you're going through with the contract and the handbook and all that stuff. If it says like a certain thing the first day, then bring it. What to wear on your first day? My mom and like one of my mentors too said the same exact thing. They said dress up, and then once you get there, you can feel out the vibes of the office. And you know, it says it in the handbook too, like business casual is what mine is, and I like dressing up anyways, but I get to wear jeans. So depending on if your work allows you to wear jeans or not, you will notice in the office within the first week. Like dress up your first week, have fun with it. It's the first day of school, first day of corporate, you know. It's just you're a newbie to it all, so enjoy it, dress up, wear your cute corporate outfits, and then you'll get the feel of like what everyone else is wearing and see how chill you can go and all that stuff. So don't be too nervous about that. The golden question, how do I budget? This is not an ad, by the way. None of this is an ad. You need a budget is what I use. It's an app. The sense of it is that you are knowing exactly where your money is going, and you're saving, you're investing, you're putting, you know, it's really good app. I really like it. If I say recommend anything that has a link or something, it will be down in the description, so you can check there. Last and final question that I have written down, what if there are terms I don't know of in my first few meetings at my new job? What if there's words that are said that I have no idea what they mean, like ROIs, KPIs, all those. Depending on who your director is, like who you're exactly under, depending on their personality, how they've been with your onboarding process, I would first recommend that you write it down secretly, or if you're typing notes, you write down these words and then you go look them up after your meeting, whatever it is. Or you just be brutally honest, and I've actually done that. So a couple of my bosses, I was in a meeting with them and we were discussing things, and they said a few things, and I literally looked at my bosses and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Can you explain it to me? And they did. They sat there and they explained, you know, exactly what they meant, what this means, and then so I understood it, and then I could give my response. Just depends on the culture in your company. I hope it's wonderful and great and where you can do that and like, you know, you're respected and not looked down upon to ask those questions, and you should be not looked down upon and you should be able to ask those questions, but every business is very different, right? So every corporate's different. It's normal not to know everything. Just think about it. You're a newbie to this. You're new, okay? So really dive into it and really use that to your advantage. Ask the questions because you're literally looked at right now, not in a rude or disrespectful way, but like you're new to the company. You're new, they know you're fresh out of college, you know? You can't know everything. They're not expecting you to know everything. Even like, I feel like even top people, like you're not expected to know everything. Everyone's learning all the time. So just ask questions, learn as much as you can, soak it all up in your brain, take it all in, and you will be just fine. Congratulations, by the way, on interviewing, pursuing that. If you are in the interviewing stages, you've got this. Do not worry about it. You will find a job, I promise you. I was in the exact same area in life. I do normally lifestyle vlogs, so you can go back and see me stressing about finding a job and nothing coming across my plate and just everything like that, okay? Everything like that was happening exactly how it's happening for you if you're interviewing right now. And then congratulations to if you are in corporate, you're new to corporate and you're in your job and you're even sitting down to watch this video, taking time to watch this just to even learn about a few things, having more knowledge in the workspace. Good job. Seriously, pat yourself on the back. Like, you're doing great. And if you're just watching this because you're curious, you know, you never worked a corporate job, congratulations for you too. You know, like that's awesome. Any questions about corporate, put them down in the comments below. I'm gonna be going through and answering some, so please let me know any thoughts, comments, anything. Thank you so much for watching the video. Again, congratulations on your job journey, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye, y'all.